Hello.
Hello, guys. How are we doing?
Doing? What's up? What's up?
I always start these with like the most customer service voice. It's real, like I don't know, and I
Welcome to
know I do.
Waldorf?
Yeah, welcome to Waldorf. I
Because you're
mean,
literally wearing customer service 2 hours ago. It's hard to come down.
oh, correct. I was
You
like
know?
dodging bullets out there today. Those
It
designers. Oh my
was. It's a
god,
lot. It's a lot going out in the field.
I love
We're
it though.
just doing our best. We do love it. Hey guys. Hey everyone.
Hi, everybody.
Hi Neen.
Hi, C.
I'm so happy
Give
to
me an
be here
update.
today.
I know, me
I'm
too.
gonna
I'm
give you
like,
an update. I also have just been feeling the last week, like our last episode, it comes in waves as mood and things going on in my life. But like I've been the last two, like so excited. I've been excited for all of them to talk to you, and I love talking to you any time of day. But these last two have felt like fun, like really
well,
fun for me.
the fear and dread is like, and I guess she's not going to listen to
Yeah,
us.
exactly.
Yeah,
There you go. I think I'm powering through. I think I'm powering through. I'm
yeah.
still not doing great with like the posting and seeing myself on my Instagram feed, but I'm getting used to just powering through that, so that's good. Update for this week today is I've been on the therapy hunt, which I um mentioned in the last episode, and I had my first session locked that shit in yesterday, and I feel really good about it. I feel really excited.
Did
I
you
had
go to the session?
Yeah, I went to the session.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
And I had anxiety because, and I think that we'll need a vulnerability episode. I'm not quite ready for that
No,
because I
fuck
think
that.
that
Fuck off.
yeah, but I do think that of all the
No, I'll
things
do
I
it. I'll
have
do
to
it.
offer, no, for real, all the things I have to, that might be season two. All the things I have to offer at the ripe age of 27 is not, nothing's to say I'm a master of anything, but I do think I have a lot of information in this world, in
Yeah, you do.
this type of world, for better, for worse. And ultimately, I'm on that journey. I'm on the grind of healing and all the cringe things I could say about it, but it's the truth. And if anyone has questions or wants to talk about it, it's one of my favorite subjects. So I think I'll pull little pieces of that into whatever. And I think this is a good update to bring in. But basically, I took a long leave of absence from my, my therapy grind for quite a few reasons. One, it's expensive.
Sure.
Two, I couldn't have loved my last therapist more, but I felt like I hit a plateau with her. And so I just need to take a little breather and see what that felt like to not be in therapy for the first time in 4 years. And it was good and tough. And I had like a lot of new downloads, a lot of new curiosities, a lot of new appreciations about how far I had come, and also how valuable that time was in my life. At the last year, I was only going every 2 weeks. It's not the same as every week.
Yeah, I feel like
Um,
it's also healthy to like if you're constantly working on yourself, like that's kind of telling the universe like I'm a broken person and I need to be
yes.
constantly I'm like a
You
car that's about to fall apart. And
Yep.
like I feel like there's like a good I've done therapy before and I haven't gone back because I haven't felt the need to.
There you
Probably need
go.
to.
Wait. Sometimes I think one thing I would want to talk about eventually on here, and I guess as part of my update, is finding a therapist is way, way harder and more of a challenge than I think anyone could ever let you in on. Because you're trying to come you're going for therapy clearly because something's off, or you're trying to find something, or trying to heal something, so you're vulnerable. And these
Mhm.
people are beautiful, kind, all the great things. Their souls are like here on doing a mission, like a doctor or anything else. Some of them are doctors, but any specific thing that someone here is called to do, like they're special people. But it's also a flawed, hard thing. And they're human and you're human. So finding the right fit, I think now for me, it became the number one important thing. So I just wanted to put that out there. If anyone's seeking that, it's okay to say no to people. I actually need to do some follow-up emails and be polite and say no to some of the people I interviewed.
Yeah.
And I don't need to over-explain myself. I don't need to say whatever, whatever. It's just a line back to say appreciate the call, but I'm going in a different direction with something for whatever reason. And again, like it's hard for as a people pleaser not to feel bad because they gave me 30 minutes of their time. They were so nice. There were so many good things about them. But yeah, I just wanted to say it is a very challenging thing to seek out by yourself. And most people listening here like know me well or they know you well at this point. So
Mhm.
I'm always here to talk about it in more depth. But I will say it's a good feeling when you find someone you click with and you get excited about the process of overcoming certain challenges and just having like a guide. This new person to me is a guide. Like I'm looking at them as like all the answers are within me now. I've
You're
downloaded enough data.
Yeah, well, you're not, like, in the there's, like, trench there I call it trench
Mhm.
therapy, where you're, like, literally in the trenches and you're, like, drowning
Yeah.
in an ocean, and someone needs to, like, actually throw you a life vest and, like, pull you out and, like, be like,
Yep.
you know? That's definitely not where you're at, so
No, I'm past that, thank gosh, and I could go back to that point at some day. But right now I need a guide. I need someone strong that's gonna like also help me not people please them in the session. Like I'm just like excited for her. I think she's like a very strong spiritual but grounded. I just all things about it. So I'll continue to share and see what I discover. And I thought it was like a good thing because our little prompt for today, the thing me and you were working on, really aligned when I went to journal last night for this. It really
Mhm.
aligned with what I had talked about with her in the session. So it's like I went from you, then I went to the session, then I went back to like our conversation, and it was cool. It like was all very aligned.
Okay, I'm excited to hear about that. I wanna hear
Yeah.
about your experience when you were writing it because I had a
Yes.
specific experience.
Me too.
We'll get to that later.
Yeah. So what's your update?
My update is crazy week, good week, but
Mm-hmm.
one of those weeks, like the day or 2 before you get your period and
Yeah.
you're just like not really a functioning person. So that
Mm-hmm.
happened to me on Tuesday. It was one of those days where I got to work and I was there for an hour. And it was 10 a.m. and I was like, I know I'm gonna cry today.
Mhm.
Nothing
Yep.
happened. Like literally nothing happened. I was just felt so overwhelmed and bombarded and frustrated with everything. And I literally um got home. Sam immediately can tell it's literally the most annoying thing in the world. Um, I'm grateful for it, but I
Yeah.
digress. It's
Yeah.
annoying because, like, sometimes
Mhm.
I'm like, "Yes, I'm feeling kinda way," but, like, don't acknowledge me right now. And I
Amen.
literally as soon as I walk in the door, he literally goes and, like, for you guys, like, listening, like, he looks at me, turns his head, and he's like, "What's wrong?" And then that's like
Mhm.
the floodgates open. I just start crying. And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Nothing's wrong. Just ignore me. I just need to go lay down." And I like went in bed and laid down for like 10 minutes. So I'm laying in bed for about 10 minutes and um like, the same, like, story is popping in my head. Like, I don't know if you guys can relate to this, but it's, like, the couple days before you get your period when you're, like, super down and you're depressed and the storyline starts playing. And it's, like, the
Mhm.
storyline that's, like it's, like, my biggest op. It's, like, those are my demons coming out being, like, like, it's, like, depressive thoughts, but also, like, um, it's just thoughts that are, like, going to make me not me.
Yeah.
Um thoughts like self-worth is being like attacked. Doubt is on an all-time high. Like it just kind of goes. And I was
Mhm.
laying in bed and the thing was going. And like there's a part of me that I've realized that is like likes the misery in a way.
Yes,
Like
Nina.
like sitting in it and like soaking in it. And it's like I was sitting in there and this will definitely tie into our conversation today. But I was sitting there and the storyline was playing, and I was like, "I'm gonna soak in it." Like, literally excited to, in a way, like, I wasn't, but I could subconsciously feel, like, myself, like, cozying up to the suffering,
100%.
and it didn't work. For the first time in my
Mm.
life, I was like I just, like I, like, I was cozying up to, like, literally feeling like shit because that's worked for me in the past. There's
Yeah,
something, enticing about a suffering storyline that I guess not anymore, but I was very attracted to. Little damsel
totally.
in distress action, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
especially when, like, Prince Charming's waiting in the other room.
I know, I'm like and then maybe he'll just, like, mosey on in. Truly, no, truly.
Truly is such a
It just is what it
tactic.
is. I'm just telling y'all
Yeah,
what happened.
it
And
is. It's real.
I'm sitting there, and in the past, this could take me out for, like, 2 days if I was lucky, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
But,
Right?
um,
Oh my god, it's so true.
isn't this, like, so like, I was
It's so
thinking I was like,
relatable.
I almost called you afterwards, but I was like, "That's weird. I'll just talk to her on the podcast."
No, no. Yeah, save it for the pod,
No, I
but
was gonna
always
save
call
it.
me if it's yeah.
No, it was nothing serious, nothing was going on, but I was sitting there, the storylines were playing, I was cozying up to the suffering, just, like, there's something, like, comforting about your dark thoughts. I don't know
Yeah.
what it's just that
'Cause
storyline.
Okay,
It's
let
just
me just say, I don't want
yeah,
to interrupt this because good stuff, but I will say that I think when you have a creative brain and you have big dreams, you're gonna have that dark side of doubt and also like a lot of hard things in your life. Like there's such a spectrum of all this, and it's easier to live in the dark sometimes
totally.
because the positive of everything working out is very scary,
Terrifying.
which is what we're gonna get to today.
Oh, it's terrifying.
Right?
But
It's so scary
yeah, because it's,
because then you can lose it all, you
the
know?
fear yeah, and the fear of success. That's like the other
Yeah.
side of the coin, but
Yeah.
pretty much, like, I'm sitting there, da da da, I it's all coming at me, I'm trying to cozy up to it, and in my brain, I just hear a voice just like, "Get up." Like, it's not working this time, and I literally was like,
Mhm.
"Oh, okay." I got up, I, like, wiped my tears, I walked back in the kitchen, I'm like, "Okay, I'm fine." Like,
You can
literally
feel
just
it
had
in your
to
body. You can feel like that
yeah,
voice in your body that's telling you like,
it was
I'm
just
not
like it was
allowing
like,
you to.
"You look ridiculous right now, get up." I'm, like, having, like, a tissue, like, over both eyes, just, like, curled up
You're
in a
like,
ball curled up in a ball, naked, in my so came into the room, stripped off all my clothes, got in bed.
I love doing shit like that though. Like sometimes you need a
No.
little bit of it, you know? You need the
I know,
drama.
and I used to
S-
revel in it. Like,
A
truly,
good,
I'm because 'cause I'm Brazilian, so, like, that shit, like, runs
yes.
deep in me. And
Yes, it's
and
ethnic stuff.
and I'm sitting in the bed, and I literally just hear myself get sick of my own shit, and I was like, "Oh, okay, anyways."
So funny. A good friend of mine sent me a book. It's called Codependence No More because I'm highly codependent on Connor and I'm trying to overcome that. And I opened it up, a flip to a page, and one of the headlines is addicted to drama. And I was like,
And then you close the book, and you never saw that book
int-
again.
interesting, interesting hot take,
Oh, dude, it was weird, though.
right? It is weird. No, that's a great. I'm glad you shared that. I think that's relatable in the period stuff. Like behind therapy and all this stuff that I explore, feminine hormone period stuff comes up
Yeah,
just as neck and neck of what I'm interested in. Cause I think that a lot of times, I mean, this is like, you could see it on a headline in Instagram, but like our health is so under researched. And I think a lot of times we feel crazy and we've
yeah,
all felt crazy for years when it's just facts and science that we're having these up and down things that men don't have. Like I saw this amazing thing about menopause that was like imagine if men got their balls chopped off at 50 and then just had no resources or education on how to deal with that. So had no testosterone and nothing for the next 40 years of their life and everyone was like we don't care, good luck and just don't bring that up.
yeah,
Like
do not yeah.
never in a million effing years would that ever happen. And that's basically what happens to women. Like your whole system just shuts down, shuts off all the way that like with what? It's getting better and better. People are talking about it more and more. But man, like what a way that like we have to walk through life and not be taught this stuff. And like my not to make it about me, but my period came this past weekend, but like 5 days late. And those 5 days are just like hell on earth. And it's the same thing. I walk in and Connor knows. He's like, something's wrong. And I'm like, it is, but there's also nothing that we can say and there's nothing I can
'Cause there's
do.
nothing to fix. Like,
Yeah,
it's just
exactly. It's the ball being naked under the covers and just being a ball is like either
yeah.
what I need in the moment or I gotta like strap up and go on with my day and be like nothing's wrong. It's one of those two things. And I think that you have to find the line of like doing both, honestly. Like sometimes you do need the drama and to be in a ball and be coddled. And then sometimes you have to say, this is what it is to be in my body and be in my experience. And it can be from your period, it can be from whatever the hell's going on and sometimes you just kind of have to face it and like you snapped out of it really quick which is impressive like
well,
and
it's
it's
kind of like it's like the emotional wave comes, like, picture, like, a
mhm,
big wave in an ocean, and it comes and it crashes, I'm in a ball, but what I used to do is, like, then hop on the boat of the emotional sea and just go sailing off, and then it
yeah
was like and then what like, the next pattern with that after that would be like, okay, so, like, the emotions are triggered, and then I would pick a storyline to then continue that emotion.
yes
See what I mean? All of a
yeah how do
sudden,
you feel like you kind of have overcome that or beat that
I've
or
just learned to
beating it
just learned to shut the fuck up. That's it. No, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. It's all still there.
you're just strong in those ways like I think I don't know how to like put it into words but like you have incredible self-awareness, that has turned into self-control, that has turned into determination, that has turned into just what I would call strength. I don't know. And of
I
course, it's
like
not a
that.
perfect system. I maybe wouldn't know that you were crying on a Tuesday night the next morning, but I also know that you're a human who probably has those moments. But I've seen extreme growth in the sense of like the way that you bounce
Yeah,
back.
the bounce back rate. The bounce back rate is a little
Pretty
bit higher.
huge.
But I will say, like in this, okay, just spoiler alert, we're talking about manifestation today, everybody.
We keep teasing it.
We're
Like that
te-
will track into today's
but
topic.
I do believe that my ability to bounce back out of that bed and like to kind of like get on with life in a
Mm-hmm.
sense. We're still respecting myself. Still respect. I knew I needed to cry. I knew I needed a moment. But like that ability, that voice that came in, that was like, "Girl, what are we doing?"
Hmm.
That is the new identity taking place in my brain that I've been manifesting for probably since the beginning of the year.
Gotcha. Okay,
You see what I?
so did you have a feel, you were living this certain way and you were
Yeah,
like, I want to I want to change, I want to be different, and I'm kind of gonna create this new version of myself over time and through maybe discipline and positive self-talk and practice, you're able to form this new voice that's now present.
correct.
Is that a good like
Yeah, it's
way to
essentially
look
like,
at it?
yeah, because I believe that, um, there's a lot of talk about manifesting out there. I'm sure all the people know. Like there's endless books and affirmations and tactics and things
Yeah.
you can do. But at the basis of and I've done all the things. Let me also reiterate that. I've read every fucking book. I've said affirmations in the mirror. I like them. But like what is actually going to like change your life and like what are all these little things that people tell you to do? It's identity work.
Hmm.
You change the
Explain further.
identity. Okay, so it helps okay, you're an actor on a movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
You come on set, you've already gotten the role, okay? You already gotten the role. You're on set and you're ready for your first day. They give you the script. You go through the script, and there's an entire character written on this script. Yes, like she's just walking into school and talking to friends, and some things happen. But that actor has to come in and embody this identity of the character to then portray the character in a way that's going to not come off as cheesy or like bad acting, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I kind
They
of
have to
approach,
drop in.
yes. So I kind of approach manifesting the same way. And someone who really explains this really well is this. I found her on TikTok, and she is like a spunky little ball of energy, but so fun to listen to. And she's an excellent storyteller. Her name is Courtney Cho. And I think there's two little like cherry emojis in her bio.
How do you spell
Um,
Cho?
Choo, I believe.
Okay.
She has a Substack too. But she's very, very entertaining. I'm going to explain some of her methods. Go to the source to get the full
Okay. And
story.
we'll put it in our like comments or however you do that
Oh
stuff.
yes, yeah, and she just manifested a book deal, which is insane. After like
Awesome. Okay.
starting this
So
thing, like,
since you've been following you're seeing the stuff she's actually manifesting in real time. That's always fun to
yeah,
follow people like
no,
that.
I know. So I definitely recommend checking her out. But what she's really good at talking about is identity work. And it's pretty much that all the focus should be on changing the internal. The 3D world around you will change once you show up differently. The
Hmm.
3D world around you in this moment in time is the result of your past manifestations catching up to you.
Gotcha.
So think about that for a second. So
Yeah.
everything around you is past you who did the work, and now it's here. So using that same mentality, not being reactive to the 3D world around you, because if you did that, you would be reacting to the old script that you wrote before. What
Mm-hmm.
keeps people turning and burning is the constant reaction to their current situation in the 3D world instead of thinking beyond that and reacting as if you were beyond.
Oh, I like that way of thinking about it. And it's
Yes.
true. And I think that it's
Mhm.
good. It's it's interesting for me to look around right now and like see where I'm sitting and think that, and that does have to do with like a lot of thoughts of what I have and what I wrote today, because it took me so long to get to this spot, and there is so much of like little tiny things I had to put on and try on to then achieve in a way. Like we're probably sounding like we're probably sounding too like up in the clouds with this, but like
This is
I'm
an
so
up in the clouds episode, just
it
hop off
really
now if
is.
you're not
Just
enjoying
yeah.
this.
I think we'll get to more substance, but just to work through the
No, we have to talk about, like, the theology of
yeah.
it, the beliefs and the, like yeah, okay.
Yeah. So like I want to use something like literal to like so it feels more tangible saying this. Like if I used my one of my dreams was from a very young age to like be on my own, live with Connor, live in a big city, whether it be Los Angeles, New York, like one of the big ones. Um, be my own boss in
Mhm,
parentheses, um, or in quotes, and be living free of being told what to do, being
mhm,
free of certain system structures like school and clubs and the I just had a lot I had struggled a lot in feeling like obligations took over my life, and now I'm kind of in that spot. Like, I'm in the spot that I always wanted, and I'm
mhm.
for sure enjoying it, but I don't give myself enough credit for what it took to get it, and I didn't find it for this episode, but I fully manifested this house without a doubt. Like that is the
Yeah,
one thing I can say I manifested in a stereotypical way of writing it down and then within 2 months it found it
yep,
and it happened and it was beyond what I thought I could accomplish. It was such a pipe dream and then it was reality within like 60 days. And just in a way I could never have envisioned. This is the one thing I'll say about this before I just start getting to like whatever. I think my one bone to pick with when people talk about manifesting is you have to get past the thing that you want out there. So whether it's a book deal, it's a house you really want, it's a job you really want, it's a partner you really want. You have to get past the fact that you can get that thing, but you still are not going to know what it's going to be like to get it, and
yeah,
you're not going to be able to be um you almost have to be judgment free of when it comes. You're going to have to see, and it kind of goes back to our potential conversation. You're going to have to see potential in something and then grab the things that come that will lead to it. It's not just like this sort of a magic genie and it appears in front of your face. I think there's like a misconception there. Sometimes it might, but I think also it's more subtle than that. Do you agree?
I don't yes, but it's also, like, I feel like that comes down to your belief system. I really believe that, like, we are programmers of this matrix. Like we are co-creating in this environment. So if
Mhm.
your belief system is that my manifestations show up in subtle ways and I accept them in subtle ways, and they will.
Yeah, that maybe that's just how it works for me. Like
That's
it's
what I'm
not a
saying.
it's not a catch-all thing. I've
Right.
just found that for me that like it's not this literal drop in of like when I wrote out my like manifestation for what does my life look like in 10 years. Like I know I'm going to co-create that for 10 years. It's not going to be a
Yeah, well, it requires you can't okay, are you saying like you can't just sit in a room and visualize a life and then just sit there? Like
I'm
you
saying that that's obvious, but I'm also
yeah.
saying one when the thing comes, like the job you really want, you think you want, I'm saying let yourself also be surprised by what comes.
Okay, I like
'Cause
that.
does that make sense? I
Yeah.
think I've gotten a lot of, like, what I visualized in a literal sense, but I also think I've been really surprised at, like, what's come and how I jumped on the train to, embrace it.
Well, it's kind of like I
Like,
don't know if
almost
this
like the
is
universe knows what's best for me in some ways. Does that make sense?
yes, yeah, okay. I think I'm almost there with you. Let me say this one thing and I think it will click. So I don't know if this is a biblical reference, maybe religious, but it's pretty much like, okay, God, I'm going to pray to be a more patient person. Like God doesn't just like
Mhm.
sprinkle patience into your morning oatmeal. Like it puts you in situations to then be able to
Yes.
practice and choose patience. So it's
Yes.
like when I wrote down like and guys, we did like a journal prompt thing. It was like what like a day in the life 10 years from now, like what does that look like?
Mhm.
And when I wrote down Nova Linda is a $10 million company, my entire body seized up because I was like,
Mhm.
because it's like what I realized is, and what I know to be true is that I'm not going to just wake up and be like, I did it. I'm going to be constantly put in situations that I'm going to be required to level up and to like be able to make me into this person that can then
Yeah.
handle and respect and hold that much abundance. And um, Yeah, so that's daunting.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's good. That's a good thing to think about. It's daunting.
Does
It's
that
scary
resonate
to
with
put.
what you were saying with
Yeah,
though? Yes,
yeah,
okay, good.
totally. Yeah. I think it's all I was trying to say is that I've listened to plenty manifestation things too, and it's a very hard thing to talk about and put into words because it looks different for every person. And I think that I would get overwhelmed listening to like Gabby Bernstein and these people who clearly know what they're fucking talking about. And you're like, give me a piece of that. But you can't translate her version of this to yourself. Like, I think you can
Yeah.
pieces of it, but I think you have to find your way of co creating with your universe and like the destiny that you have and also your experience and like the tools that you have. And I think that every time people write something down and say, like, I'm going to meet my husband within the next year, like, I think it's tough because it's like these books and things make you feel like that's enough.
Mhm.
And I don't
Yeah,
know like how to also express with saying every person has a different what is the word? Like I'm trying to come up with the word. Like
like a different process. I don't
yeah,
know.
and like things that will work and things that you need to look at. And there's just so much more layers to just kind of these. I need to follow more people. I think the girl you're following it sounds cool. Like I think that there's just like so
Well,
many different ways to skin a cat. Is that the saying? Whatever.
sure, today it is.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing that, like, I've read Gabby's book, I've, like, listened to all these, "Oh, this manifestation technique here and this, da, da, da." What resonates really well with me and this Courtney Cho character
Mhm.
is she talks a lot about the mechanics behind it. So kind of like what I was saying, like your 3D reality is an old blueprint. Like your job
Yeah.
is to create the new file that will be printed in the future. So like in a sense, you're always grateful in the present moment because you're grateful for the hard work that you did previous. But then
Mm.
your gratitude in the present moment doesn't keep you're not stuck and reactive to the 3D. You're constantly like rewriting the script.
Yeah, I
And
get that.
with that, like identity work to like loop that back around. Writing the new script looks like writing the new identity, the new source code, the new file system that you're going to start running by. If your brain is a computer, like you're running files, like old patterns of me like wallowing in the
Yeah.
ocean
Yeah,
for forever.
wrap it back to that example and give me more context of how you rewrote the identity around that.
Okay, so um
'Cause it's hard to this is hard to explain, that's what I'm trying to say.
it is
Like,
hard to explain.
I feel like it's confusing, it's a very real thing, and I think it's a part of how me and you function, and
Mhm.
it's great, and then also confusing.
Yeah, well, of course. What fun would this be if it wasn't?
True.
So that moment was very pivotal to me because this voice popped in my head and said, like, not mean, not judgy, just, girl, what are you
Yeah.
doing? Like, get up. It doesn't feel the same anymore. Like, whatever. And I felt that shift within me that I was like, oh, it's like when you're standing like in between two characters and I could like
Mhm,
see my past self and how she would operate and take this
mhm,
situation. And now I'm like looking over here and I'm like, oh, this is fun. This is, but like I know it's like so to rewind. That voice is the voice that I've been cultivating and manifesting
mhm,
for some time. And pretty much what happened in I guess, short terms is I've always had these very strong emotional reactions. Like I can be um overly emotional. I've always leaned into suffering a lot. I've always had this like victim mindset when it's come to things. I've some cognitive distance sprinkled in there. I know I can in the past I've always like had like a lack of accountability when it's come to things. And this year I kind of turned a point and I went through a pretty hard thing in the beginning of the year where my fiance had some medical issues, but not my story to tell. So maybe he can come on here one day and tell that.
mhm.
Um, but it kind of forced me in a position where I was like constantly having to like show up and like uh, be this like person on a 10, even though I felt like I was on a 0. Um, and I really, during that situation, was like, I want this strength to carry on throughout my life, but it doesn't feel like it's me. Like this feels separate from me. It feels like I'm a character, like playing, like, oh, I'm like, able to show up and able to do all this stuff. But like in the moment, I like didn't feel like that person. So
Mhm.
what I was like, and I think we were talking, you're like, oh, you like exude strength. Like that's what I was like. So in this situation, I was like, what is the best version of myself to handle the situation, to be able to take care of myself, to be able to take care of my family, and also to give me longevity so I don't burn out. And so I sat down and I like thought about it. Like this person, she still prioritizes her health. She's still working out. She's still eating 3 meals a day, even though she doesn't feel like eating. Doesn't matter. Your body needs food. You need to eat, right? Like, she is like selfless with her work and everything. Like, she still is putting time into her efforts and her creativity and her career. And so I wrote down this like kind of like new character in a sense. And it came out of a desperate moment of like, I can't handle this. Like, I'm going to crack. And if I
Yeah.
crack, everything else around me is going to crack and then we're
Yeah.
screwed. So that's kind of like, so in that, like, and hopefully you don't have to go through like a horrible thing, but like, you know what? Might as well make the horrible thing work for you. So,
Yeah, honestly,
right.
it makes so much more sense now that you put it that way. That's why it's like hard because it's like we obviously have a line of like what we will share on here and won't, but just that context of what you're saying is like you had this version of you that was happening, but it was like not who you thought you were on like, that
It
you
was
didn't
no,
fully
no,
identify with what was actually happening, but then you had to rewrite the story to then say, "Who is this person? And this is a requirement now. I have to lean into this and stand up." And that's the accountability bit that I think both me and you shared of looking back in the past of so many things of being passive, pushing it onto other people, being
yeah.
reactive. I identify with all that so much. And then one day you wake up and you say, if I want X, Y, and Z in my life to keep this unit together, to push through hard things that like I can't help that are happening, it's just they're happening, then I have to transfer to a new version of myself, a new identity.
No, I literally called it, and I was like
It's
going
all
through
locking
it.
in for me now that you put it that way. So thank
Well,
you
and
for
it,
sharing that.
no, of course. But like for me in that situation, like it was like and it was like it was desperate times. Like
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
was no option not to. But like in that,
Mhm.
I was like smoking weed will make my brain foggy and I won't be able to carry out tasks I need to carry out and blah 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 blah. Okay, that's out. Okay, drinking alcohol right now, like why the fuck do I need to be drinking if I'm, going through this hard of a mental space? Like I was like very much like putting the family on my back and like
Mhm.
accepting the responsibility and being grateful for it.
Mhm.
But I also, little entrepreneurial mind, saw an opportunity in it because, like
Yeah.
I said, I'm a crazy person.
No, cuz no, your choices are you burn from it, you
Yeah, and I'm not
crash,
burning. No,
or you grow, and you
no.
chose your
And my
soul.
nails stayed done. My hair stayed
Yeah,
good. I was
you
like
were, I mean,
fit. No, I was just like,
conversation for another day, but Nina is a beast. And I
I was
think
not going to loser this through. I didn't want to get to the other side of this and then be like, okay, he's good. And then look around and my life be burning and me be 20 pounds heavier and just
yeah.
like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I
Let
didn't
it
want to
take
like,
control. Let it
yeah.
win. Let it win. You didn't
I
let it
didn't want
win.
life to take me. I was pissed at life. I was
Mhm.
pissed. And I was like,
Yeah.
you're not taking me. Now he's healthy and everything is good and we're all like everything's on the up and up. But in that moment, this little character was created. And I
That
saw
character is serving you now.
I am her now. Isn't
Yeah.
that crazy?
Yeah,
Because
you dropped in.
yeah, and like I mean, but that manifestation had nothing to do with my 3D reality. And that's why it's hard for me, and we'll get into it with these like journals and stuff, but it's hard for me to
Mhm.
like lean into manifesting a 3D reality because all of it comes here and then the 3D just unfolds with like this endless, you know what I mean? So
Okay,
like
so well, maybe there's a phase 2 to this of
right,
like
so that's what I
the
think is
3D ver
happening.
Okay, I got it
That
now. I'm getting it. I don't know
but it
if
is
everyone
happening.
how many people we've dropped off by now, but if
Yeah.
you're interested in this stuff at all, keep listening because I think we're getting to the actual nuts of it, the nuts and bolts,
Yeah, but
the
like
nuts.
in that time that I was manifesting this new identity, this new character that I was going to embody, everything, like, yes, like the working out and the things like that, but everything on that list was things that I was going to change up here and habits that
Mhm.
I was going to change in my day to day life. It had nothing to do with like, these like big, big goals that I was reaching.
That's what I was trying to say earlier. Like, I
What?
didn't have the word. No, I just didn't have the words for it. So it's like you have this big thing written down, and there's maybe I'm not listening to the right stuff, or actually haven't read enough books. I'm just skimming manifestation information. But to me, the illusion out there of like people yelling manifestation is without the concept and the structure of what you're talking about, which is it's the day-to-day little things, these little performances and little things you have to try on till then you become those things.
Yes. Your identity is created from your habits. So
Yeah.
that is why and you can't reach your goals without having those things too. So I
Yeah.
was in that moment because I was living so in survival mode of like day by day. I mean, sometimes it was
Mm-hmm.
hour by hour. So I truly was so micro focused on my habits and how I spent my time and energy because it was like because I only had so much to give. And I was like, I need to feed myself, like feed myself energy and food. But you know what I mean? Like feed
Yeah.
myself and
Feed the
then,
being.
yes, and then feed the family, like with my energy. Like my
Yep.
energy was like the light source and I
You
understood my
broke it.
role in that.
You broke it all down,
Yes.
or you had
But,
to.
but now, so then we get to like, July. And I called Caroline and I said, "So we're starting a podcast. Like it's a go time now. Now right now's the time."
Yeah.
Do you see how that
Yes.
Yep.
Yes,
So
I do see it now.
yep.
This is
And during all that
interesting.
stuff going on, I designed my whole first Nova Linda collection. And then and then
Yeah.
and then I
You
get
kind of became a beast.
I
You
wasn't
already
gonna be a
were
loser.
one. No, you already were one, but it is
It was like
uh
I had to lean in fully into this thing has always been there, the potential, right?
yes.
I have
Yeah.
always
Yeah,
felt
we're
it.
we're full circling this stuff.
I
It is. It's
know.
always been in there. That's what I mean. It's not like it's out of the blue or I was surprised at all.
No.
But when hard things happen, which we've both had hard things, you take them and you can have anxiety and frustration and anger and like you got to let the emotions flow. But the other part of your being has to carry on. And when you carry on, you have the opportunity to carry on as a zombie, or you have the opportunity to carry on and build your body and your armor until you become a
Yeah.
new, improved version of yourself, regardless of what that thing is. It's just facts.
Yeah. And the old storylines just at a certain point they stop working on
Yeah, they
you.
stop working. That goes back to us being in a bed in the ball.
Bet in the ball, baby. But and it's like the bounce back rate, like all of that stuff
Yeah, it's
comes
still,
back.
of course, it still happens. My big one is like my codependence with Connor. It's really funny. Like I've been working on this now for a little bit. So that I can be a full human being. We've been dating since we were kids, and I had a hard thing happen where have really had to lean on him, and rightfully so. But it created a new level of codependence, double whammy,
Mhm.
and we're very in a unique position in that we've never known ourselves outside of each other. So to then take on this quest that I'm on, and thank God for his like desire for that for me too. Like he's securely attached enough to want that for me. But it's funny, I kind of set out on that quest this summer right along the lines of when you wanted to do the podcast. So the podcast for me was a sign and another signal of these are ventures and things I need to go off that will build my identity outside of him. And as
Exactly.
anyone can tell, I mention him every episode, so I'm still pretty attached to his identity within mine. But it's funny, once I started to say out loud, that's what one of my new missions was. There have been so many tests on me. Like the
Mhm.
universe has been sending these tests, and once they come, I'm fucking annoyed. I'm like, no, like it goes back to what you were saying of like being comfortable in my own misery. It's like there's a
Yeah.
part of me that's in misery because I'm not a fully formed person, and it's not his fault, and it's not my fault, and it's not the trauma's fault. It's just how it went for us.
Yeah.
But with that, your codependence ultimately creates a level of fear and anxiety in these things because I'm so reliant on the relationship to fill all of those gaps. So when I set out on this journey to fill those gaps for myself, I want it, and I'm here for it. But once the stuff starts coming my way, I'm like, wait, what? I can't.
Well, and it's
I
like
can't deal. I'm scared. I want to turn around. I want to go back to the misery. Like,
yeah.
because I'm comfortable with that. I know that version of it all, but I'm
Yep.
overcoming it and I'm powering through. So the
And
good news is like,
You know how
I
that version
know.
plays out too. Like,
Yes, I know how
you
it
know the
goes.
storyline.
It's a comfortable movie. Like Connor always wants to watch new movies, and I'm the type of person who wants to watch old movies and old TV shows.
Yep.
I like a little bit of new here and there. I mean, I'm not like completely risk or change adverse. I'm really not. Like I can flow. But in comparison to him, oh my gosh, I'm like I don't like change. I don't want to change from these old habits and patterns but they're not serving me anymore.
Yeah. And once
They're
you're
not
like,
serving me.
and it's like once you know that, there's no going back. Like
That's what I'm
you
saying. You
can't
can't
unlearn it.
undo.
Yeah.
You can't
No, but
undo the request to the universe. Is also my point of the this like we're talking also about like manifesting more than just the house and the car and the stuff. We're talking about
that
manifesting different versions of ourselves.
because there's no manifesting all the 3D
I know,
stuff.
I know, I know.
It
It's just it's icing on the cake.
it is. It's the
And it's
cherry on
not, it
top.
doesn't even really that I don't know. Should we jump into what we wrote? Because we'll keep chatting all day.
Right, but let me because you just described something and it popped in my head. So let me just
Yeah.
say this one
Yeah,
last
yeah,
thing.
yeah. Keep going. Just I want
So
to shut up.
no, yeah. So you were talking about how like you get to like the brink of change and you know what needs to change.
Yeah.
And you know like the new habit or the new thought process, the new belief that needs to get instilled. And
Mm-hmm.
then right when you hit that moment is where like all the self-doubt and all the things come in.
Yes. Yes.
So, okay, back to my like print the file thing.
Yeah.
So you have your 3D reality that you're living right now. That is the script from your past that you're living
Mm-hmm.
right now. Um, your job in that 3D reality is to not to be reactive of that reality, judgmental of it. It's just there. It just is. And that is your opportunity to then choose like the next shift or the next identity that you want. The second that you make that choice of the shift, which is what you were just saying of making
The
the choice,
codependent shift.
yep, is when you enter the void. And the
Yep.
void is
The
the
fertile
space,
void.
the void is the space in between the current reality and the new reality.
Nina.
That's the space where magic and dreams happen. That's the space that time does not exist, right? Your belief can
Uh-huh.
say this
Uh-huh.
needs to be slow and steady, but it doesn't need to be. I mean, truly. So the void though is the space in between. That's the space that you get tested in.
Yeah.
That's the space that builds you. That's the space that's like, oh, you want patience? I'm going to put you in situations to be patient in. That's the
Mm-hmm.
testing ground. That's like that's the Hunger Games. You
It's the
go down,
it's a mixture of the
kill or
Hunger
be
Games
killed.
in a womb. It's
Yep.
like it's like you're
Yes.
I honestly, Nina, this is like so funny because it ties back to my therapy thing. But I had a therapist who was again like one of the loves of my life, and she, really showed me how codependent I really was. I didn't want to hear it. And ultimately, she said a lot of people don't have this unique situation that you went from being in the nesting and love of your mom and your parents and your grandfather had all this love in my life. And then I jumped from that love straight to Connor's love. I never had a void. I've just
Yeah.
really haven't. I've created my own little voids here and there, of course, and like some have just come my way just because. But ultimately, I never had a void, and she called it the fertile void. And she really wanted that for me. She was like, of course, she was very like, you're in a unique position, and this is the love of my life, and this is the way that my story got lined. But I have to live in the void sometimes, and that is super challenging when my comfort is right there in front of me, just like tempting me all the time to jump out of the void. So you're describing it as magic and all these things, and like
It's
I have
but
so much.
it's everything.
Yeah. I just wanted to say it's also deeply uncomfortable, at least for
Yeah.
me.
No, 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 no.
But it also might be because I haven't lived in the as a void as much as other people in their 20s, which is like a blessing for sure. But it's also kind of a curse in the sense that like I kind of feel incapable um of some solo mission things, and like that
belief system.
belief system got confirmed for me from other things in the outside world that have created an intense self-doubt
Yep.
that in a lie, in a story, that I'm only safe, I'm only these things in context of other things other than just myself. And the truth is I have to get to a point where all those things ring true and it's just me sitting here in my own existence. And I just haven't gotten there yet, but I'm dabbling. I'm in the void. I'm dabbling in and out of that place. And all of exactly what you're saying. It's magic, but it's also fucking scary.
Yeah, well, it is that's the space of the unknown, and I
Mhm.
believe that entrepreneurs and, like, creatives, um, I don't know, even people, like, into, like, technology, like, people that are
Yeah.
highly creative, um,
Thinking
they have
outside
a
the box.
they have a strong armor for the void. And so
Yeah.
that's kind of what this Courtney Cho character explained to me, that she was like, "Once you're in the void, that's when you suit the fuck up. That's when you're
Yeah.
there to hold it down, hold the line. That's where
Hold the
you hold
line.
no, that's where you hold the line." Because
Truly,
if you
truly.
can hold your identity, that new identity that you wanna connect with through
Yeah.
the void, then the new reality will start to unfold.
Yeah, you gotta just make it through, guys. You gotta battle. You gotta
Yeah.
battle. You have to, it's so also self-inflicted, all of this is. So you can also just like carry through, and that there's like not as, some people are not seeking this, but I think me and you are seekers in this way, where as soon
Yeah.
as we get
I'm an active
comfortable,
seeker.
well, as soon as we get comfortable, we call in these new like
'Cause I love to
developments. Like,
suffer. I've just found a new way to suffer, people.
exactly. We're dropping the old suffering and we're developing new suffering
I'm
to
like, "If I'm gonna
see.
suffer, I might as well make it work for me." Like,
It's actually
I'm like
crazy.
it is, but the thing is
It
like,
is, but it's fun
I
too.
stopped, like one thing with manifesting is, like, at first it was, like, so positive, you need to be, like, the best person ever to get through these things and, like, always
Yeah, fuck
find
that.
the light and da da da, and, like, once it clicked for me that I was like, I can actually just, like, sometimes be a shitty person and still get things that I want, you
Yeah.
know? Like, I can
Yeah,
be
it's
a
not all or
badass and
nothing. Because there's also
yeah,
like I fell into that trap of like being overly grateful all the time, and it was like it was a real feeling of gratitude, but at the same time, like I didn't allow myself to feel and express some of the negative feelings I was feeling from the reality of life. And I
yeah,
don't, I think that's a dangerous world to play in, of being
it
overly,
it becomes a form of escapism.
yeah, yep,
Yeah.
or like denial. And your system doesn't like that. Your system's not like, because there's this concept that someone always has it worse than you, or you could play around in that world all you want. Your body doesn't know that. Your body's
Mhm.
not like, let's name 10 other people that have a worse time on planet Earth than you, and just over like and use that as a bypass to like face what your body went through and what your system is going through in your nervous system. They're not on board for that. So yeah, dabble in that, keep the perspective, but also you have to honor your suffering and your experience. And I think sometimes, I don't know, I felt guilty for doing that, but ultimately, like, that actually is the path through, I think.
I
And
think
sometimes
so
that stuff
too.
comes up in the void where you're like in
Yeah.
the void, you're wanting to break through, but then you get stopped by like some tough feelings and experiences, and you have to like sit in them, you know?
Yeah, and that's like those are those moments, um, where you can't have this, like, intense judgment for yourself
Exactly. Yeah. That's
because
exactly
those
right.
things, like, need to come up, and that's okay.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, and it's not something to wallow over.
Right.
There's
There's a
right?
difference between wallowing, honoring and wallowing.
If you get knocked out of the void, just, "Oh, alright."
Yeah.
Right? I've done it, like, where, like, I've reacted in a certain way with Sam or something, and I walk back in my room and I'm like, "Oh, I didn't pass that test. I did not
Yeah.
pass that
Yeah.
test."
Yeah. Yeah.
And now, though, it's not as much as, like, I used to, like, really, because love to suffer. You really go into, like, a good old shame spiral from that,
Yeah.
from something, "Oh, I did a bad job. Oh, I suck. Like, he's gonna leave me."
Mhm.
Like, really,
Mhm.
like, deep feelings of, like, things that were already there that I had to deal with. But now it's a little bit more of, like, a game of, like, I got knocked out. I get it. I wasn't strong enough to pass. When it's my time,
Mhm.
it's my time. Tomorrow's a new day. This next minute is a new minute. Always a new opportunity to choose and always an opportunity to, I don't know, be
Yeah.
better.
Amen. How genius are we?
I hope so. Or we really just lost a whole bunch of people. We sound crazy.
We actually do, but what are you gonna do? This is a side of us. You gotta like let it come out and
I
play
talk like
every
this with
once in a
all my
while.
friends. Like there's we're gonna connect.
I
Here's the
I
thing,
know.
Caroline, right here. We're gonna manifest the best audience to listen to this shit. Because there's people out
Yeah,
there
and
that really
skip through
think this
the
way.
skip, of course. And you like, if it's not for you, you got to skip through and go down to our ground. We have other grounded things that we talk about, and we will continue to talk about. But sometimes, we got to play up in the clouds. Like, I'm not that religious of a person. This is kind of where I like play around in what I my belief system. You know? because I
Of
believe in
course.
a bunch of things. I still believe in God and spirit and stuff. I just don't practice a religion.
Mhm.
And I think that for me, a lot of these conversations kind of lead me down those things where then I go back into questioning, like, what is it that I believe in? And the more existential questions, if you can get overwhelmed by them or you can use them as like information to make these developments and like progress in your life and like have a North Star a little bit, you know?
Yeah, and
You need a
if
North Star.
at the end of the day, if you're listening to this, like, the only goal here is, 1, you're not crazy. 2, you absolutely are allowed to dream as big as you wanna dream. The whole
Mhm.
world is your oyster, and you are meant to be here, and you are meant to create the things that you wanna create. If you have a desire for it, it is yours. Your identity just hasn't caught up yet.
Yeah, we probably should have started with that.
Yeah, but whatever. Should
I'm
we read
just
our
kidding.
journal?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Okay, you go first. I'm
Okay, so
scared.
I know. Well, and maybe this
This is
episode will
very
be
vulnerable. Oh wait, no, I have to set the scene of why we're doing this.
of course. Okay, this is gonna be
Okay,
a longer episode than an hour,
I
but you
know.
guys
Sorry, guys.
I don't
We'll
care. I
try
don't
to go.
care.
Let's go to 110. We got 15 minutes. Okay,
Whatever.
whatever. This is sponsored by Kelly R, important person in my life. She sent me and my best friend,
Didn't
her
she call you at
daughter.
the beginning of this podcast?
Her daughter did.
Shut up.
um she sent in our group text, great episode. It's how to design your life, a full step by step process. Or it's how to design your life, and then parentheses, a full step by step process of Mel Robbins podcast from just a few weeks ago. Okay. I was on a little Mel Robbins kick this summer, and then I got a little bit like, I don't know. It's a little preachy
Yeah.
sometimes. I think the essence of all her episodes are great, but I like more conversational. See, and she's not as messy. She's more catering to the masses, but I still respect. And if I see something comes across my plate, I'm always going to give her a listen. Also, I just really need you to see Louis real quick because he is.
Oh,
Oh
little
my
guy.
gosh. How could you be cuter? Look at his little pile of fur that I made.
Oh my god, is that you're
Do
petting him?
yeah, do you see it?
Yeah, I do. Hi, buddy.
Sorry, Louis. Okay, he just had to be a star of the show for a second. So I just wanted to give that shout out because I wouldn't have found this, and it just, if someone sends you an episode of something, just give it a listen, okay? Especially if they know you and love you. So thank you, Kels. The episode is great, first of all. Second of all, it's about designing the life you want and how to get there. And one of the woman, I forget her name, but the prompt is that she discusses is writing down very specifically what a day in your life looks like 10 years from now. So me and Nina were trying to decide what we want to do yesterday. I had just gotten through this episode and I was like, let's try it. Let's write down what we want. What does a day look like? And I will just say as a disclaimer, I struggled with this because one of the
Me too.
vulnerability of saying it out loud to you and to people listening. Two, because one of the realizations I had seeking out a new therapist is like I'm still figuring that out. So mine is I'm saying this out loud today, but I'm going to come back with new and updated versions of this because
Me too.
I'm starting to realize I don't really even know. And I think that's really normal and fair.
Yeah.
When you're young, you're kind of suffering in a way where like you're bubbled enough where like you think you really know what you want. And
Mhm.
then you get older and you graduate and you go through all these experiences and the world just gets so big and expands and all the possibilities are limitless that now I'm in overwhelm. I'm overwhelmed of like
Yeah.
actually what I think I have potential to do, the doubt that creeps in of can I actually do that? And then the finding myself and the things I'm dealing with codependence and like whatever. So I just wanted to like put that out there that like I'm going to read what I wrote, but after I wrote it I was like there's so much more I could add to this and there's also so many questions I have for myself. So but I just let it come and I just
I
am going to honor.
literally threw my notebook on the floor after I finished. I'm glad you
Yeah,
struggled
right.
with this too, because I struggled really hard.
I struggled hard and I was kind of upset. I was like,
Me too.
this doesn't look that different than what I have right now. Why am I?
Right. I was like, what's wrong with my
I'm like,
brain?
yeah, I had a lot of questions. So anyway, you want me to go first or do you want to go first?
No, I'll
I
go
don't care
first.
either way. Okay, you go first.
So here we go. The perfect day, October 1st, 2035. It's 7 a.m. I wake up slowly and clear-headed. I just had the best sleep of my life. The kids are still asleep and Sam is doing who knows what, but knowing him, it's probably something good for himself or the family. It's quiet outside. It always is on our land.
I love our land. I
I decide
love.
to take my cappuccino outside with a bowl of berries to find a pocket of peace and reflection before a chaotic but fulfilling day. Today is photo shoot for Nova Linda.
I love this. I
I
love
know.
this.
We're getting a cover on Architectural Digest with Louis Vega, where we're each directing a photo shoot called Nova Louis Land. At this point, Nova Linda is a $10 million brand. I wrote 1 million, crossed out, 2 million, crossed out, 5 million, crossed out, 7 million, crossed out, and then put
I'm
10 because
obsessed.
that number sounds so crazy to me, but I was like, do the
Mm,
crazy one.
of
Um,
course.
right?
There's no limits.
So at this point, Nova Linda is a $10 million brand. I am so proud of this, but of course, this isn't the only thing I'm working on. I have a book in the works, and our incredibly successful podcast just hit 5 million subscribers. I don't know what a lot of subscribers is.
I love 5 million.
5 million seemed right. Almost put 10 again. My work is incredibly fulfilling, and I truly love my life. Before photo shoot, I head down to my gym where I did. Oh, and I said, oh, and did I mention I live in a cottage slash castle inspired home on my land? Yeah, it rocks. So now I go to the gym, sauna. I have a full spa in my basement. After my gym and sauna sesh, I take a dip in the pool. My outfit for today is creative director chic, so I opt for an a so I opt for the row head to toe, paired with an
Yes.
oversized Bottega bag for all my things that I need that day. When I come down for breakfast, I eat with the family, we wish each other good luck on our big days, and I hop in my Lexus RX 350 olive green with tan interiors.
Obsessed with you. This is so good. This is a 10 out of 10. I don't know what you're fucking talking about.
And I head to work. I'm an active and thoughtful leader at work. The photo shoot goes amazing. On the drive home, I take a moment to be so grateful for my younger self and her bravery. It's because of her that I have what I have. And I go home, soak in my massive tub, put on a cute matching PJ set, have dinner with the family. We watch a movie from Sam and I's movie list. I've started a curated movie list for our kids that like certain age groups we want them to watch.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
love.
To like
Like you
teach
guys
them
have
about
been doing
life.
this like now.
Mhm.
I love that. That's a great idea.
From Sam and I's movie list, and go off to bed. I'm happy, healthy, abundant in resources, creatively free, sorry, creatively
Creatively
free.
free.
Yeah. Fulfilled, secure, and the coolest fucking person I know.
Nina, I'm obsessed with this. This is so great.
I know.
No notes.
No notes?
What do you think you left out? Or what? So tell me how you felt after you wrote that. Because
I
it's so
hated it.
interesting.
I don't
Why?
know. I felt like intense fear, I
Yeah,
would
of
say.
course. Okay, of course, naturally. Yeah.
So like there was I finished it and I was like, oh, and then I'm like,
Yeah.
$10 million company. That sounds really stressful. I'm sure
Yeah.
that there's a lot of things to do. Like I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
what does my to-do list look like for a $10 million company? And I'm like,
Right.
that's not the only one. I'm gonna have like 4 others that I'm working on. You know what I
Because we
mean?
already
Because we
do.
we already do, right? So I'm like, that's an insane thing to do. That's like a crazy person does that. Um,
Yeah.
but what I resonate the most with is like this character and this person, the way she thinks and like moves through the world. And I feel
Mm-hmm.
really comfortable embodying that. But when it comes
Yeah.
to like the actual like 3D success of it, there is a block for me where I'm like, how the fuck is that supposed to happen?
But you already said it early in the episode. We're not worried about the 3D part. Worried about we're working on you embodying all those things. And that to me, there's a lot of traits you listed that you are already doing and that you'll continue to grow upon with your health and your happiness and the way you walk through the world and like those style that you carry and how you show up as a partner and you'll eventually as a mom and like all those parts then create the 3D in the Lexus and the Bottega and all that bullshit, right?
Correct. And when you say that back to me, heard. But like I
Yeah.
still have
Don't I know. I know.
there's a reason why I don't have that right now. You see what I mean?
I know. I know.
Like,
Trust
you see
me.
what I
It's
mean?
so much easier for me to hear yours, see yours, envision yours, and believe in yours than my own. And I
And
held back. Like hearing yours, I held back on mine. Like I'm gonna edit mine. I already knew that I was, so I kept it whatever. But like I think that you're already even sometimes one step ahead of me in your belief of it. Even if it's hard for you, like you're really good at like taking it from 1 million, scratching it out and writing the 10. So it's inspiring to me. I
well,
appreciate it. Like
I
you're a
wanted to
good
put
person for me to have with this type of thing.
I wanted to put a scare. I've learned that like it's like if you're not scared to do it, it's really not worth it.
Yeah,
And so that's
totally.
and like something one last thing I'll add is like I know that the how is not what you focus on. Like, you focus on, of course, the consistency of the
Nina, that's
habits.
what they say in the episode. You have to go listen to it now that like we're getting through this. Mel asks her, so like give me tangible things like to the guest. Like give me tangible things how the listener can write this list and achieve the list. And she goes like, I'm sorry, but like I don't focus on that part of it. I focus on people expanding their minds and their brains to believe that they can have that thing or have that life and have this vision come to fruition. And it's a very frustrating thing to hear because you're like, then how? Then how? And really, what I learned at my spirit camp this summer is that the essence of the whole core of the message of the week is your being. So you be, and then you do, and then you have. Instead of doing and being and having after the do, you have to start with be and who you are and being. It's just a frustrating thing. People are literally going to be sitting in their cars saying fuck off, but anything you listen to is that. It's the
Well,
truth.
the being and like the internal work, you will get absolutely no outside gratification. No one's going to come pat you on the back. No one
Yep.
cares that you're doing it. If
Yeah.
anything, you're going to be off-putting to other people that are in your existing circle for doing it. So like it's
Can I give a good analogy for this though?
totally.
It's like really rich parents that spoil their kids too much and then their kids end up fucked up and unfulfilled because they skipped the be do and they went straight to have. And ultimately the only way we all feel something is by the things following after being.
Yeah.
So if you can instill like the messages and the learning and like your kids can live in this castle and still understand what it means to have, but you'll also as a mom and as an example have to really focus on being even more so, even more than how when we grew up, because we didn't have a castle and all the things. We had enough, but we weren't just handed it all. And I think that that's the beauty in what we're trying to achieve, right? Opposed to just skipping the step.
With great power comes responsibility. And like that's what it is.
Yes.
And like that's the fear is the responsibility. And that's what that is. I'm like, I can handle it. I can do whatever. But then like when I wrote that down, that was hard. It was really, really hard for me.
Well,
and I just read it back to you.
Be curious of why it's hard and like look at that in the
void. I'm gonna keep journaling. That was like really helpful. And now that I've read it back to you and we've talked about it, I'm now excited for that future.
Yeah,
it resonates with me, you know?
Well, I'm here to pump you up when you're a little like feeling any sense of doubt because I already see all that for you. It's a duh to me. It's already halfway there.
I know. And just the how, I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Okay, got my cute little journal. Shout out Libby for my journal. Okay.
It is a really cute journal.
It is really cute. Okay, October 1st, 2035.
Did you really start it with that too? Oh my God, you're so cute. We're so cute. We're so cute.
We're so cute. We're so aligned.
We dated.
I know. Okay. I'm waking up in a messy but cozy room. Connor's next to me. It's sunny outside. We have big windows and you can see leaves barely turning color, but it's our first signs of fall. The room is big but cozy with new character I haven't seen yet. New books, art by me and by others, new but old ceramics. Then I feel furry, warm bodies, 2 of them. I enjoy, also, sorry, I don't like write in full sentences. This was very like spitball-y, short, whatever.
Yeah, it's a journal.
Yeah. I enjoy this for a moment before I hear pitter-patter and littles coming in. I have 2 minis jumping into bed, getting under the comforter and cuddling. 6 souls, 1 bed, and a lot of love. I have coffee in bed, enjoy the views, and turn on TV for the kids. Then I see the day unfold, organized chaos. I'm running my empire from home, but involved and busy. Connor's home in between projects and helps me manage kids and chaos when he's home. My business has grown 10x. So I didn't give a value number and I'm going to go back and add that. But I said 10x.
I like 10x. We're aligned on the tens.
Yeah. Value and in sales and overall reach from present day. I have regular shoots, spreads, and collection launches. 3 to 5 employees.
Like that? You don't need more than that for this business. That's
I know. You know why I put that, which is an interesting thought?
Why?
It feels manageable. So I think I need to think bigger and know that I can manage more than
we
that.
We can also be like, we can only have that much and be outsourcing the rest.
True. Sometimes I'm worried also about, we'll get to it after. Okay. When Connor's away, my mom's with us. We're all playing, laughing, cooking, and enjoying our house. It's cottagey LV vibes. Spanish influence, organic wood, and tile accents that are old and tell a story. I add my flavor, and so do the kids and Connor. There's a mother-in-law suite out back. Fruit trees in a small garden. LA, of course. But the best part is we have a second house at the beach. Small but perfect. Views in a getaway. Life is full. Money is not a concern. I have extra that I bring. I don't know what that means.
Excess, whatever. You're an excess.
Yeah, whatever. I have extra that I bring love and flavor into my life in orbit. This is just, I started scribbling now. Oh, like extras that I bring. Oh, I think I meant like the extra things that I bring into my life that bring love and flavor would be friends, art, music, events, work, laughing, and play.
I love that.
Yeah, I like it too reading it back. But I think that when I wrote it, I got frustrated that I couldn't think that far off. I basically supersized what I currently have. And I'm here for that.
But that's kind of what I did too, except I just added kids.
I know. And the reason it was good and hard is that one, it made me feel a little bit guilty that I'm not more satisfied right now. It made me look in the mirror a little bit and say, what are you chasing?
You have a lot of, yeah, you already have a lot of this.
I know. And then I thought, also, are you with that, I said maybe true. And the other one I said, are you holding back on what you want to write down because you don't think you can achieve it?
That was why I had so many frustrations.
Right.
I only wrote.
I think I can make this list much bigger. I could have written Connor's in this movie. I'm on Architectural Digest. I could have gotten more specific, but do I actually believe I can do that in 10 years? Or am I holding back the real dreams? And that's why I want to do another one that's outrageous, like completely outrageous, and maybe even trim that down because like maybe more money, more problems. Maybe I don't even want to be that note. I don't know. I don't know what I want. And so I got frustrated in the sense that I think I'm like this put together person that always knows what I fucking want, and maybe I just don't. And this is part of my codependence journey. There you go. I'm like, do we share this episode? I don't know.
Oh, we're definitely sharing this fucking episode.
I know, I'm just kidding. But like, it is so hard.
It was, I'm glad that you struggled with it too, just so I could struggle with somebody. It feels better. But yeah, that was really hard to write. I mean, I realized that like, and I'm like so literal. I'm like, where are the fucking kids? Who's taking care of the kids when I'm going to this photo shoot? Like,
I know.
They just went off to their big day. How old are they?
I had to
like, take a bus?
Like, yeah. I'm like, I had to bring.
Who's their teacher?
Yeah.
Do I need to be there? Like, literally, like, yeah.
Fully listen to the episode though, and then redo it because then you'll get more information about like what the prompt actually is. I gave you a very loose prompt, because it was even hard for me to remember like what she said to do, and like I think it's a listen to twice type of episode. And it was really like, there's so much more to the like thought of putting this stuff down on paper again than just dreaming big. Like there's so much that goes into this stuff. So I'm really grateful this just came into our ether this week. This was like all just a download.
But now it's like we're writing the identity file of people that have the habit of writing down big dreams.
Yeah, I'm going to keep doing this for sure. It's not something I normally do. I've done it one time and it came true when I put it down. I'm going to find it and we can like post it on the grid. It said like, I wrote down in a journal like this and I ripped it out and I saved it. But it said, when I lived in an apartment that I was unhappy in by the beach here in LA, I wrote down, I live in a house that's big enough and like has enough space for me to foster dogs. I don't know why that was the marker of, because it was like I lived in a place where that wasn't possible. And in this house, I don't foster dogs, just so everyone knows I'm not that good of a person, but I could. And that was to me, that was enough. But that was the marker of what I needed. I needed a space for me and Connor and the dog to then invite in other souls. Like it's not just about the concept of fostering a dog. It was this marker in the sand of I have to graduate to a space that allows this like new level of like it just was a new way, like a new way of being. And it meant so much to me when I wrote it down. And then I'm telling you, in 60 days, it came in a way that I wasn't expecting it to come, but it came and I had to jump on it and I did it and I took it.
And we're going to wrap up soon, but
yeah, sorry.
Correct me. Like
that's my only real example of manifesting, I think.
But let me hear me out on this because I've done manifesting too. I was like
Okay.
super into abundance at one point earlier this year and like doing abundance affirmations in the mirror every day, listening to abundance podcasts, like understanding what the energy of abundance is separate from a monetary
Yeah.
thing. And I did a
Yeah.
lot of research and I was doing all these things and I started reaping the rewards of the things I was doing.
Yeah.
In that moment, it freaked me out and I stopped doing it.
Yeah.
Do you resonate with like
Yeah, I
it's like
do.
when
Wait, can
it's
I say something?
yes.
Sorry. I kind of have this belief that my mom's the ultimate manifester on planet Earth,
I
and that
agreed.
she's manifested more of the things in my life than I have for me.
Yeah.
And I get worried. I get worried because I'm like, so believe in the power of like positive thinking and like that all of that we're either so in tune with what already is written and we know it's coming. And so if you play into that, then you're pulling it in and you're experiencing it. Or the fact that like we're Italian and Brazilian witches and like we know we know what's going on and we can channel it. But do you know what I'm saying? I'm like,
Yeah, I
she'll
do.
say things and I'm like, there's no way that's gonna happen. I don't believe it. But she believes in it enough for me that it has appeared.
Well, that's where it's like if like your thing
But
to
now
the
it's my turn.
house exactly, and your thing to manifesting the house wasn't about like I want a big house.
Mm-mm.
It was an
Mm-hmm.
emotional thing that took root into that belief
Yeah,
that then allowed it to flow. And it is I mean, it's emotional, I guess is what I'm saying. Like
it is
everything
emotional.
in here, like the car and the Bottega bag and the row outfit and like the killer closet and like the material things, like those things would mean nothing to me if I wasn't like the person. It what means the most to me is who is the person experiencing this,
100%.
not not the thing. Like the
Yeah,
emotion and everything comes with like I want my marriage to be like so delicious and fulfilling and I want these healthy kids and like da da da. So it's like though like
yeah,
I want to be an amazing mom and I want to be an amazing like, I want to be this person that creates opportunities for others. I want to have so much abundance that, a kid can come to me and I need to like take on an intern or like, or if my friend comes to me with an amazing business opportunity, I can invest in that and like creating this ecosystem of people around me that, where we are just like creating and like, getting on that flow. And I want to be like abundant in that. And like, that is where like I lock into abundance. It has nothing to do with, I'll drive my Kia till I die. Like, let's be fucking real. You know what I mean? Like, it's like
totally.
the car, I'm just like, okay, but like, let me just write the car
Yeah,
down because I love that car and
it's
everything.
the icing. It's the icing.
And I know I'll get it. Like, that's not even a big deal, but like, I love it. But it's
Yeah,
like, if I'm not in that car driving to my photo shoot, like running the company I'm running with the kids at home and the projects that I have and the friendships that I have, then that car means nothing to me.
exactly. There's
Yeah.
an empty version of it. It is. It's all emotional.
Yeah. Well, I think we did
Wow.
good. We're going to keep doing this. I think we should do like some kind of manifesting episode like every like I
Every
don't
so
know,
often.
at
I
least every
think
2 months.
I think too, like maybe this would be a good question for us to ask guests. Like, have you ever manifested anything? Do you believe in manifesting and whatever? Because everyone's gonna have a little different little version and take on it. Um, and I
Yeah.
think it's indescribable. So if you've gotten this far in the episode, cheers to you for hanging on. And I'm sure you have an interest in it, if so, because it is like the ultimate existential question of like how much anything's possible and how much can we live in that space
Hmm.
and ride the line of belief and um yeah, it'll be fun to like I actually do think Connor will be a good person to talk about this stuff with because he's kind of trying like he's gonna have to manifest till the day he dies and
Well,
carries through a very difficult career wish.
hot take, we are always manifesting whether you are aware of it or not.
Yeah, true.
Manifesting is a neutral act that's happening at all times. This
Yeah.
conversation right here, Caroline, it's going to be the cutest thing ever. It's going to be the cutest thing ever a year from
To
now when
listen
we've like,
back on it.
yes, to listen back on. We're going to be like, look at the little spring chickens. Like, you know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Mhm. Or
And
10 years from now.
when I
We just
view
put that
like,
on record. Now we have to
yeah,
fulfill.
of course we will. But like
Yeah.
I can like view this moment from that lens, like from that perspective of me 10 years from now. And it's like, nothing but gratitude. And then it's
Yeah,
like,
for
I get to
sure.
experience that gratitude, and that's called time hopping, but that's a whole other conversation. All right, team.
I'm scared.
I know, I'm scared of myself too.
It's okay. This was so fun though. I'm like
Yeah.
glad that we kind of like this was obviously like
We've been kind of
out
teasing
into
it.
the this was out in the ether, but I think we got some good sharing in too. We went a little vulnerable, not too crazy. So you're welcome,
I love it.
guys.
Okay,
All right,
team,
everyone.
thank you
Thanks
for
for
lasting this
joining.
long.
Yeah,
Like,
if you did.
subscribe, do your thing. You know what to do. We all have the internet and we all listen to podcasts. So, if you like what you heard, send it to a friend. If you don't like it, please write us in. If you have any crazy manifesting stories, please tell us.
Yeah. Also,
Please tell
tell
us.
us if we should. I think we should do a question and answer episode soon. I feel like we have enough fans that we could get like a solid number of questions and then answer them.
Okay,
Should
if
we
you
do
got
that?
questions, write them in. Yes,
So
we should
maybe write them
absolutely do that.
in, email, or just DM us on the Instagram. That's easiest.
Word. All right.
Word.
Peace out, everybody. All
Peace,
right.
love,
Bye,
bless.
C.
Bye.